Welcome to your Essential Oils yoga class. Today we are doing a class with the theme of balance, and it's creating an optimal life. Basically, you can find a description of the oils as well as a description of the class at the link in the description, wherever that would be, above or below, and then also some more information over there on my website. My name is Ashley Jonas. I am a yoga teacher and movement artist, and I teach people to move beautifully so that they can live beautifully. And that's basically it. So today's class is about balance, like I said, and there's several, I think 8 different oils that we're using. If you don't have them, that's fine. You can do the class without essential oils, but just go ahead and look at the description for those oils. We're diffusing one oil, or you can put it in a spritz bottle and spray it around. That would be on guard for this class. Then we put a couple oils in a water bottle. Has to be stainless steel, ceramic, or glass, or a paper cup, not plastic, because the oils can eat away at the plastic. So if you have wild orange and peppermint, a couple drops in a water bottle. And then we'll use 4 different oils throughout class. The first one in our seated pose to start, then before our sun salutations, and then before when we come to the ground, and then before our final relaxation. So we'll go ahead and get started and have your oils set up if you have them. And we're going to start in bound angle pose. And be careful when you're using essential oils not to touch your eyes afterwards, as it can irritate your eyes. So there's a few uses for oils. You can do aromatically, which we just did, diffusing in spray bottle, ingesting through water, and then also topically, so on your skin. And it goes right into you, gives you all the yummy benefits. So today is, like I said, about balance. So we start in bound angle pose. If this is uncomfortable, you can sit on a block or a pillow. And the first thing we're going to do is grab our Balance Blend oil, open it up, put some oil in your hands, smell it, do a little of this, and then rub it on your feet. This is actually a shortened version of the yoga class essential oils that you will find in the yoga studio, whether that's, just give yourself a foot massage, whether it's a workshop or a class, which is an hour or 90 minutes. This is going to be more like 30 minutes. Okay. So now you have your feet all balanced out. You can pull yourself forward gently, rocking forward and back. Open up your feet and press one elbow one at a time into the leg, side to side. Good. From there, cross the legs, come forward into child's pose. So we'll take your feet hip distance or a little wider, sit back and extend the arms forward with your forehead and chest towards the ground. Extend the arms and make it feel good. We'll go from child's pose to cobra or upward facing dog a few times. So tuck your chin, round the back, roll forward, keep your arms long, and drop the hips as you open the heart. Look up, and then look down, round the back, and sit back on the heels again. Keep going back and forth. Do this a few more times just to get our bodies moving, breath flowing. So breathing deep in and out through the nose, smelling that balance blend that we've just applied to our feet, as well as on guard, blend, and maybe a little bit of wild orange and peppermint that you put in your water. I'll do it one more time. Come forward to Cobra Pose. It's modified up dog on the knees. And then regular child's pose. Lift up just a bit, tuck your toes under, keep the hands where they are. Lift the knees and press back to downward facing dog. Pedal the feet a couple times, bending one knee at a time as the opposite heel heads to the floor. Good. Walk your feet forward right behind the hands into a ragdoll pose or forward fold. Little bend in the knees, grab your elbows, shake out your head, sway side to side. Relax. Release your hands to the ground, bend your knees and roll yourself up. Head's the last thing that comes up. Before we get to our sun salutations and standing poses, grab your Melaleuca oil and open it up. Put a few drops in your hand. You're gonna rub the hands around, smelling tea tree oil, so Melaleuca oil. And then we'll apply it to our heart and chest area, heart, chest, and neck. Rubbing them around again, and take a deep breath in, and down. Good. From there, stand at the top of the mat, feet together or slightly apart, that's up to you, in mountain pose. Palms face forward, reach the arms up. Take a side bend down to the right, connecting the hands, side bend to the right. Inhale up, side bend to the left. Inhale up. As you exhale, open the arms, dive down, forward fold. Into sun salutation A. Lengthen your back, look forward. Then step back to a plank pose. Shift forward to high plank. Exhale, low plank, bending the elbows. Upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, look down and roll yourself back to downward facing dog. Take a couple deep breaths. Finding stillness, heels towards the ground. Spread the feet wide or bend the knees if your hamstrings feel kind of tight. Okay, bend both knees, look forward, step to the top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold it deeper. Inhale, rising up tall, arms overhead. Take it to the side, right side bend, exhale. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, straight up. Open the arms, swan dive to the floor. Half lift, inhale. Step back to plank pose, or you can jump back. Shift high up under the toes. Exhale to a low plank or chaturanga. Upward dog, lift the heart. Downward facing dog, exhale. Take a deep breath in. Bend your knees, step or jump forward. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold. This is our last one. Rise up tall, standing with the hands overhead. Side bend to the right. Inhale, lift. Side bend to the left. Inhale, lift. Open the arms, swan dive to the floor. Half lift, inhale. Step back to plank pose, exhale. Shift high into the toes, exhale, low plank. Upward facing dog, downward dog, exhale. Take a deep breath in, pressing the heels to the floor, then step the right foot forward on an exhale into a low lunge. Keep your hands on the ground. You can always take the back knee down or keep it lifted, that's up to you. Left hand stays by the foot. Right hand goes forward, up and around into a twist. Look straight up towards that right thumb. And keep the weight into the big toe side of the right foot. Hips coming down. Awesome. Okay, we'll take the right hand back down to the floor, but to the inside of the foot, straighten the front leg, and pivot into a wide forward fold to the side. Turn to the left and fold down. Take a deep breath in, look forward. Exhale, fold it low. Deepening the breath, bend your knees, take it a little bit lower. Then pivot back to the front into a low lunge. Step back to plank pose. Shift to high plank, exhale, chaturanga. Upward dog, downward facing dog. Again, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, left foot steps forward, lunge. Lengthen the back leg, press through the heel. Right hand stays by the foot, left hand goes forward and up into a lunge twist. Okay, let's take the hand forward and down to the floor on the inside of the foot. Pivot into a wide forward fold and take it down. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold it down. Toes point towards the side of your mat, the long edge of the mat. Lift through the kneecaps, lift the tailbone. Get comfortable. Okay, bend your knees, walk to the front where your left foot is. Step back to plank pose, adjust your hands. Shift to high plank, exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Again, a deep breath in, pressing to the heels, right foot steps forward as you exhale. Back heel spins to the floor, left hand leads the way, we rise up for warrior two. Arms are long, out, reaching front and back. Gaze is forward at the right hand. And in each pose, we'll just take a few deep breaths. And if you were using this as a guide to teach this class, you would just hold the poses longer. Flip the right palm, reverse warrior, reach that right hand high, look up. You straighten that front leg, take it up, reach way high. Bend the front knee again, come back to warrior two. Hands to the floor as you exhale, step back to plank pose. Shift to high plank, exhale, lower. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, step your left foot forward. Back heel spins down, right hand forward, leads the way up, rise up for warrior two. Palms face down, squeeze the legs together, and look beyond, just beyond the left middle fingers. Bend deeper in the left leg. Flip the left palm, reverse warrior, right hand down the back lightly, or you can take it around your back. You reach super high, straighten the front leg as tall as you can get. Feel the left side stretch. And bend the knee again. As you inhale, come back up to warrior two. Exhale, hold. Reach it long, inhale. Hands come down to the floor. Step back to plank pose. Shift forward. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take your right leg, step forward as you exhale. Just kidding, don't step forward. You're gonna take your right leg, step to the outside of the right hand into a low lunge. Lizard lunge. So hands are on the inside of the foot. Your hips are coming down low. If you're feeling pretty warmed up here and stretchy, take your elbows to the floor. But keep the elbows or the hands or that base point in line with the front foot as to not move the knee too far forward. Gaze at the top of the mat, so don't drop the head. Look just beyond the top of the mat, so you're lengthening through the spine. Step back to downward facing dog. We'll just hit the other side. Deep breath in, step your left foot as you exhale to the outside of the left hand. Low lunge. Also called a lizard lunge when your hands are on the inside of the foot. Lengthen through the back leg. And you can choose if the knee is up or down, depends how the legs feel. And then take the elbows down or keep them up. This one we can hold a little longer, especially this one. It's a good hip opener and you feel a lot going on in the legs. Okay, walk the hands back up, step back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, step to the top of the mat. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up tall, reaching up. Got one more standing pose before we come down to the floor. It's hand to big toe, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to first take the right knee and lift it high. Squeeze it in. Then take your right peace sign fingers on your toe. Extend the leg. Left hand on your hip so as to keep it secure and actively engage your core and your abs. It's going to help your balance. Now here's the little challenge, is to take that foot out to the side. Maybe, maybe not. And you could just still be holding on to the knee. Then bring the foot forward. Let's try to touch nose to the knee. Pull it forward and down, and then let it go. Switch sides, so hug the left knee up. Take your left peace sign fingers, grab the toe, hook, and extend. How about out to the side? Perhaps. You bring it forward, keep your core engaged, nose to the knees. And bring it down. Shake it out a little bit. And we are going to come down to the mat. So we'll go through a sun salutation to get down. Reach those arms up. Forward fold. Half lift. Step back halfway or so and take your knees down to the floor. Sit back on your heels. We're going to use another essential oil. And this time we're using a combination of Deep Blue and Aroma Touch blends. So if you have those two oils, let's just pretend there's two here, because there are. You open them up. I don't have them, but you might. You open them up, put them in your hands. They're quite intense oils, so you might want to, and they can be very soothing. So you can always dilute them with fractionated coconut oil. So you rub it around in your hands, breathe it in, and then apply to your lower back. If there was a yoga teacher doing this, they'd apply it to your lower back in child's pose. We're just going to apply it to your lower back. Try to get it on your skin. It can help alleviate some tension. And then we'll come to child's pose. So hold it down and relax, taking deep breaths in and out. Okay, slowly roll yourself up. You can flip the palms, roll yourself up so you're sitting on your heels. Bring your legs around so they're forward and extend the legs straight out in front of you into this staff pose or dandasana. You can call it whatever you want. You're seated in an L shape. Press your palms into the floor. Press the chest forward. Tuck the chin slightly and press the heels forward. So you feel that your knees are pressing down. Your heels might even lift. So we're feeling pretty strong with that. Fold it forward. You can grab your toes or the outside of the feet or the ankles. We're only here for a few breaths because we will actually come back into this pose after our back bends. So you reach forward around the back and start to roll yourself down to the floor. Bend the knees or point the toes. Bend the knees when you get down on the floor. Heels close to your butt, hands come down on the ground, and lift your hips. This is a assisted or modified bridge pose. So you press into the feet and keep the knees hip distance apart. If this is pretty comfortable, interlace the hands behind you and press the pinkies to the floor. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Okay, release it and let it go. Hug your knees in and rock side to side. Now you have a choice. You can choose to do that bridge pose again or any version of it, or we're headed to upward facing bow, and I'll show you that one. So we take our feet down to the floor, back to the beginning of what was bridge pose. But for upward facing bow, instead we take the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows to the sky, press up onto the top of the head first, and then feeling pretty comfortable with this, press into the hands, straighten the legs and straighten the arms. Toes point forward. There's a tendency to flare them to the side, so keep them forward. And breathe, open up the chest. Pressing your chest through the shoulders towards the wall behind you. Okay, lower back down just like the way you came. Hug your knees in and rock forward and back till you come back up to a seated position. And we're doing a deeper forward fold, more of a restorative fold. Press the heels forward, reach up, and then reach forward into your fold. Nose towards the knees, shift forward, and then come down. Keep lengthening with each breath in and getting deeper with each breath out. Good, lift back up. Heading into a shoulder stand. So we're rolling back down to the floor. Legs come straight up. And you're welcome to stay with your hips on the ground if shoulder stand is too much for your shoulders or your back or your neck or anything like that. But shoulder stand is shoulders and elbows, not the neck. So we can try it. Press into the elbows, lift the hips, hands to the lower back or mid back, and you're pressing into the elbows and squeezing them together so much so that there's space between the neck and the floor. Gaze stays up towards your belly or your knees or toes. And we breathe, focusing on this upside down inversion, circulation going through the body, and it should feel relaxing. If you're like me and there's a wall close to you, behind you, you might have to come down, scooch forward for our next position. So from shoulder stand, taking the feet way back behind you towards the floor. If they touch the floor, if the toes touch the floor, interlace the hands, press your pinkies down, squeeze the shoulders into plow pose, a big stretch for the back of the body. Bend your knees around your ears. Let go of your hands and slowly roll it down. Hug your knees or grab your feet when you get down, rocking side to side. Hug the knees in. Extend the left leg, drawing the right knee close to you. Let's take a twist. Right leg goes across the body. Right arm opens up. And your gaze heads towards the right. With the shoulders down and the hand is down. Switch sides, bring the right leg back up. Left knee hugs in. Take the left leg across your body. Left arm extends, shoulder and left ear down on the floor. Left knee comes back up. We're going to hug both knees in, rolling back up to a seated pose. Woo. Into a comfortable seated position. So this time we'll use our last oil, and that'll be lavender. Lavender. Lavender is super calming. So put some in your hands, rub it around. If there was a yoga teacher doing this, they'd apply it for you. We're going to apply it to our neck area, the back of the neck, where your temples are, maybe third eye and the eyebrows. So a little face massage. Just being careful not to touch your eyes. So if you have any other tension or anything, just rub the neck, rub the temples of the forehead. And then sit up in a comfortable position, whatever that looks like to you. With your palms facing up, connect the index finger and your thumb. Tuck your chin. You can close the eyes or keep them open and take 5 deep breaths. Good, now take your hands, well, wherever. You can take your hands actually behind you, grabbing your wrists or your forearms. Lean forward, forehead to the floor if it touches, and 5 more deep breaths. Lift back up. Take your hands at your heart. Again, a couple more breaths. And heading to our final relaxation, find a comfortable position, lying down, or so you can stay seated on your back, really wherever. Let your feet fall open, hands open towards the sky, and just breathe. So we found some balance through our physical postures, our breath, and the use of essential oils. So allow yourself to let go. Be patient. Fully relax and allow this time to surrender without expectations, without thinking you have to be anywhere, even just a few minutes. But if you can, spend an extended amount of time here, and this is where I shall leave you. Thanks for joining in our Essential Oils yoga practice, and I will see you again next time.